Everyone says it's it's an easy listen. Not it's an easy listen. It's not like you have to like be super locked in to really enjoy it.
No, and I think that's what makes a podcast good. Like if I can listen to it and just kind of like get in and out, like
do whatever you're doing.
I don't have to focus hyper to like. There's one I listened to. You ever heard Time Suck with Dan Cummins?
Mm-mm.
He does.
I've heard Dan Cummins.
So he has a couple shows. Time Suck is the one I like, where he'll pick a different topic each week, and he does a lot of like cults or like serial killers, where he does like a deep dive into the cult and serial killers and like true crime stuff, and and then he'll do some just on like historical figures. But like that one, you kind of have to pay attention a little more because like he'll be going into some real details, but then he'll also throw some like weird jokes in, and every once in a while, if you're not paying attention, you take one of his jokes as a sincere thing, and you go to tell somebody a fact, and it's like a total lie or like something just really off the wall. So
yeah, that shit has to be taken with a grain of salt.
Definitely,
I mean, this is not a documentary. This is a conversation.
Correct.
So, I mean, that's why people are hating on Joe Rogan. That's who I watch a lot of.
Me too, Joe Rogan. I don't know if you know the show Scrubs. Have you heard the show Scrubs?
I've heard it, but I've never watched it.
The two main characters, Zach Braff and Donald Faison, they have a podcast where they just go and like they're in like a Zoom or whatever, and they just rewatch the shows and just talk about like shit that happened. I love it. I love the show. I've watched every episode 1,000 times. So that's just one little secret, guilty pleasure I have that I try not to tell anybody. I probably just told a bunch of people on the internet, so everybody knows. It is what it is.
Yeah, it happens.
We're live. We're recording.
All right.
So what do we got in front of us? We got some
Four Roses
Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey from a single barrel.
And it's delicious.
What barrel? Oh, you're sipping on it already?
Oh, yeah.
Me and Daniel have some shots. We haven't taken it yet.
All right, well, let's throw these shots back. Take it up.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Not bad.
Yeah. That's whiskey.
So when I got married, I like wanted a bottle of bourbon for me and my groomsmen while we're getting ready, right? And I had 5 groomsmen. 3 of them love bourbon. 1 or 2 of them absolutely not. So we go and we have a glass and we're taking pictures and everything. And so everybody at least had to take a sip for the picture.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law, my now brother-in-law, was one of the groomsmen, and the face he made. And then my other groomsman that didn't like it, Eric, he's like, yeah, that's definitely a strong flavor.
No, it's like, it's hard to explain. Like, you know how people usually say liquor tastes like nail polish remover or rubbing alcohol? This really does taste like that. In my opinion. I don't know if y'all get that same.
There's probably a bunch of people angry at you right now.
I get like a nail polish aftertaste, nail polish remover aftertaste.
No, I thought it was pretty good. It's a little malty, a little sweet, and it was not that harsh. I enjoyed it.
I'm sure it gets you fucked up, so I'd still drink it.
There you go.
So what you got going on right now, Austin? How you been, man?
Been good. Life's been busy. Trying to train while I still can before the baby gets here. So,
Baby on the way. So when is the baby supposed to be due here, sir?
So he's supposed to be due March 3rd or March 4th, but I don't think he's making it to March. I think we'll have him before the end of the month. So.
Well, that's definitely exciting. I'm sure you're really excited for this new, baby journey you're about to go on. Teach him everything take the little boy fishing, all that good stuff.
He doesn't fish. Austin doesn't fish. We talked about
not
that
a fisher.
You're not a fisher?
I know like everybody in Tampa likes to fish, not me.
No? People got to come up to you, hey, man, let's go fishing.
He tried snowboarding, though. I told him that we went to North Carolina, Sugar Mountain.
Well, how many times have you gone?
So I went like 1.5, right? On my honeymoon, my wife didn't really want to ski that bad, and I felt bad leaving her. So, but our senior year, when we went up to where we go, DC?
Yeah, DC.
Band. Mm-hmm. Afterwards,
my family band met. Too?
Yeah, so that's Daniel and I. Well, we met before that, but we used to hang out in band. Freshman year, I want to say just through class
friends,
or something.
Yeah.
Or friends.
Yeah, because I mean, we've known each other. Like, I couldn't, like, when I think back at high school, like, Austin Bailey is, like, one of the people that I know is, like, I fucked with him, like, all throughout high school, even till now. But yeah, man, I can't even think of really like the legit like connection on how we met. It was just
it had to been through friends or class something, but sometime freshman year because like you said, it was all through high school.
Definitely. So you said you're training. What are you training for now?
So right now, I kind of put my next fight on hold, my next cage fight, just because I was planning on doing it in February. My wife got pregnant, and I didn't think getting in the cage while she was 9 months pregnant was going to be a smart idea. So my shift has been a little bit more to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitions. My school that I train at in Clearwater, Omega, they're huge into that. And then we got a competition team that's out of this world. There's these two kids, Gavin and Jack, 16 and 17-year-olds. They're tapping out grown men. Like,
oh man,
they got the jiu-jitsu bug, man. They've been training for a year and a half, and they're better than a lot of like purple and brown belts out there. I mean, they're giving black belts a run for their money. They're crazy.
How is the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition different from MMA?
So it's all grappling.
Yeah, it's
all
strikes.
submissions, no strikes.
Oh, okay.
So in theory, a little bit safer, right? Because
Right.
you're not getting hit and kicked.
Punched in the head, kicked in the
Yeah,
head,
but you could also blow out your knee or
Get something
Get it.
twisted off.
shoulder ripped out of place, something.
That's scary. Is it still in a cage?
So some of the ones we're actually doing now where our team's made a little bit of a transition is the normal tournament would be kind of like a wrestling tournament, right? Where you have multiple matches a day on just like a mat, right?
Oh, out in the open.
Out in the open kind of
Okay,
thing.
yeah.
But what our team's starting to transition to a little bit more is doing some like super fights where they'll actually hold them. And so instead of going through like a whole tournament that day, you'll line up with one opponent that night. And like a lot of times they'll put those in a cage, and some of them will even be on like pay-per-view. And
Okay,
So-
Super
okay.
fights.
trying to do some more of that because
Get
it's
your
a little
name
bit
out
easier.
there.
Yeah,
Nice. Cool.
a little bit easier on the wife, I guess.
So what got you into I guess martial arts, or when that happened? When that started?
So I kind of like a lot of kids when I was younger. I did Taekwondo just
Mhm.
because, I tried a little bit of everything, and none of the sports like football, baseball, like I could get bored after a season or two, right?
Mhm.
And I started martial arts when I was like 7 in Taekwondo, and that was the first thing that I really enjoyed. I did it for like 7 years, got my black belt in Taekwondo, then took a little bit of a break, and then in high school, all my family's from Iowa. Well,
Okay.
in Iowa, wrestling is huge.
Definitely.
I mean, amateur
Definitely.
wrestling.
You say that like you knew that, Daniel.
Yes, Iowa University,
Oh, I had no idea.
Like it is insane.
the Hawkeyes, boy. Come on.
No, man, I didn't know.
They will pack out the football stadium for a wrestling meet. I
Yeah.
mean, it's ridiculous. Like up there, it's in the blood. And
That's crazy.
so my family being from Iowa, I knew I wanted to do a sport in high school. And so I said, I'll give wrestling a try. And wrestling made me fall in love with combat sports again. And I love the aspect of these sports are individual sports. So when you go out there, you're doing one-on-one. It's either the most humbling or the most rewarding experience ever, because you can't turn back and say, well, my teammate didn't do a good job, so that's why I lost. It's
Right.
no, I showed up. I wasn't better than that guy that day or at that time, and I lost.
Right.
Or I won, and
I'm the best. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's not a team sport. Clearly, yeah, it's all on you. That's interesting. Do you feel like you're an independent person, like naturally, like that's why you gravitated towards that and couldn't fuck with regular sports?
that's the weird thing. Like, I like being in a team environment. I like helping people around me, and I believe that like together we can do more together, right? Like we can push each other to be better. But for whatever reason, the individual sports are the ones that like hooked me. And even though you're competing for yourself and you're the only one out there, like at the end of the day, you're trying to earn points for your team.
Yeah, you still
Right.
have a team, right?
Yeah, you're training
Everyone
with your
behind
guys,
you and-
kicking it with your guys, bullshitting
Right.
with your guys.
Right.
So the team, camaraderie is definitely still there, but when you go out and perform, it is you
Yeah.
one on one.
Correct.
But yeah, I mean that camaraderie thing, like chilling with your boys and just having that energy of guys where you can just just chill and kick back, like that is really important. That's very, very important for, in my opinion, just men's mental health in general. But so what other fighting practices do you have underneath your belt? I heard you wrestle,
Mhm.
Taekwondo, and BJJ. What else is there?
So I do Muay Thai is my tradition, or my my striking that I do the most. That's just kind of what I gravitated towards. I feel like for the MMA purposes, it's the best striking because you're now adding, instead of kickboxing where it's just punches and kicks, now you're adding elbows and knees.
Yeah.
And you watch fighting, even at the amateur level here in Florida, I think you have to have 3 fights before you're allowed to elbow, but you can knee from the first
What?
fight. Yeah, it's weird, and I know they're trying to change the rules with it, from what I understand. But like, so you can knee while you're standing, I almost want to say you can only do it to the body, but I'm not positive on that.
So like if someone is going at your legs and you try and you throw a knee at their head, that's gonna be.
I believe so. Don't quote me on that because I'm not positive. But yeah, so it's like for striking, I like Muay Thai because you're getting that clinch experience. You're getting to learn how to throw elbows, how to throw knees, how to really like be just well versed with every part of your body.
That makes sense. Is there not other martial arts that like emphasize those tools, or is Muay Thai like D1?
That's just what's the most popular, I think, and that's just what I've gotten to experience.
That's
and
interesting. And you said that was like recently that's become more popular.
Muay Thai,
yeah, like more including Muay Thai and MMA.
Yeah, I think that since day one, it's been something that's started to evolve more with the sport because you watch like MMA now and it's so different. You know, it used to just be you'd have these guys that were just strong, and, right, and they were tough. They were tough as hell, so they'd go out there and they'd just start swinging and like whatever happened. Right now, everybody's got to be technical. Like we're talking about Adesanya, right? The dude's just like freakishly precise
technician.
And you watch Max Holloway's fight against Cater, I believe it was, where he drops his hands and says, "I'm the best boxer in the UFC," and
talking and pointing at the guys in the fucking stands and throwing punches at the guy, like
so
it's nuts.
Yeah, you know the story behind that was
No,
I guess Cater had said at some point that he was the best boxer in the UFC, and so when I think he said that Max Holloway was like a freshman and he was like a sophomore, like different level, right?
Disrespectful.
So Holloway was, from what I understand, he was looking at Cater's corner, telling them, "No, I'm the best boxer in the UFC."
Yeah.
Hands down, clipping him, not even looking at him. Insane.
Like the fighter's right in front of him. He's got his shoulders cocked this way, talking to the corner and throwing straights right at the guy's face. Hands to the side, not even guarding up. Throws it straight, keeps chomping. Like,
man, that's like a movie right there.
Yeah.
It's like a scene out of the movies.
I fuck with Max Holloway. I fuck with Adesanya, Derek Lewis, and Khabib obviously, but he's out of the league. And I forget his name, but Khabib has a cousin. I think he just knocked somebody out.
Islam, right?
Islam, yes.
Yeah.
That guy, he's next, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he's next. Like,
for sure.
Like
any of those guys that have that big Amish chin beard, stay away from
that
them.
little short hairline.
Stay away from
down
them.
to here.
Talk about like nature's warning signs. That's a warning sign. Get the hell away.
Coming out with those white fluff hats on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary. So that's kind of the interesting thing is I don't know that I ever want to make a career out of MMA. Like that was never the goal, right? But for me, it was I've trained for so many years off and on and been to different gyms and had the fortune to meet really great people in that sport. And I guess I realized that I'm a pretty competitive person. I never considered myself one, but I always would train and I'm like, I don't understand doing training and not actually going out there and competing.
Yeah.
Right. And I know so many people that are great martial artists that train like crazy and they never go compete. And I'm like, don't you want to see where you're at? So getting into fighting was just that of I've trained for years. I'm not trying to make a career out of it, but like I want to see how I do.
You just see, where you stack up for sure.
But certainly the way to do it right would be lining up amateur fights, getting a few amateur fights under your belt, getting comfortable, and then getting pro. And like now in today's age, like you just need to have a really good like following and social media presence.
Marketing.
I feel like it's all marketing. If you can somehow make that fancy knockout or make that highlight reel and get that in Dana White's hands or whoever's, right, get to that next regional promotion, and then from there up, I think that's really like what we're seeing now. And that's why you see all these guys who what do they do right after they win a belt? Oh, I want to go to this division and win this belt now.
Yeah.
Because it's where's the money at and how do I make a name?
That all kind of reminds me of that Sean O'Malley dude. Like he came out of nowhere. Like I have no idea where he came from. And he out here knocking fuckers out every time he fights them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Sean O'Malley is UFC fighter? White boy, skinny. I think he's like in the 145, 150 class. He's got big ass long hair and it's fucking rainbowed.
He changes the color for every fight.
I recognize the name. I think I remember it being a joke.
It's tattoos all over his body and he comes out and crushes motherfuckers, bro. And extremely active on social media. So like you said, that stuff really does work. That Ryan Garcia guy, the boxer, he's all over social media. He knocked that fucker out. Like people thought he was gonna lose and came back, clipped him on the chin, out. So I mean, like you said, it's just your marketing and just putting yourself out there is really the best way, I feel like, in today's, social media hungry driven society.
Isn't that a little disappointing though? Like, isn't to a degree like if two fighters that have the same, maybe even one fighter is just a little bit better than the other, but the other guy's got a bigger social media following, isn't he going to get more attention and more like fights and more setups? Like,
Definitely.
So as a martial artist, that's one thing that does frustrate me a little bit, is that it's not anymore really about who's truly the best. It's who can make the most noise, right? Who can get the most following.
McGregor,
Like,
prime example.
Absolutely. McGregor goes, wins his belt, and then doesn't want to even defend it. He wants to go and fight for the other one, right? He's trying to make money. You can't hate him for that, but it's like, it's a shame to see that, like, it's not always about truly who's the best. It's about who can make the most noise and make the most money.
And then, like, Connor's last 4 fights he did, he's got his ass whooped.
And I'm sorry, but all those Connor fans who were like, "Oh, if that last Poirier fight went longer, homie was getting killed.
He was getting bombed on.
Yeah, and breaks his leg, and still running his mouth like afterwards.
Like, well, have some sympathy for the fucker, you fans. Like, come on. Like, if it would have gone longer with a guy who had a broken leg, like, what do you mean if it went longer? His leg was broken.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh no, it would have been different." I'm like, "Were you watching the same fight? He was getting pieced up. It wasn't even close."
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of glad that Conor McGregor hype has died down, because
it'll be back. It'll be back once he gets his leg fully back.
You think he's gonna come back and fight?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't if I was him. You got $100 million, like, chill.
For real, bro. For real.
What's the other interesting thing that they're trying to do? Is it Masvidal is being called out by Paul, one of the Pauls?
I think I saw that. I don't remember which one it was, but
Jake Paul, he's calling out everybody
in the octagon. I don't know.
Have you watched any of those celebrity fights at all?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
It's not worth it. No, it's not. The one, I think we talked about this, the other one. The one good one was like that throwback fight. It was Mike Tyson versus I think it was
Roy Jones.
Yeah, Roy Jones.
Okay.
That one was good.
Yeah,
that one was good. But this Jake Paul versus, Ben Askren's fat ass retired.
It's a joke, man.
Yeah,
but it's noise.
And then Tyron Woodley fighting Jake Paul as well. Like, in my opinion, I'll go to the grave with this. I think that nigga dove. Like,
he lost on purpose. He dropped his guard. He took that hit.
It's crazy. Like it's definitely debatable. Like, I mean, everybody reacts differently, right? When you got a punch coming at you, but sometimes when you slow that video down and you look at how his guard dropped, it's like, come on.
Drops his guard and then clenches his face like he knows the punch is coming at his head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a good copy of that. Zoom in on his eyes. See him looking straight at the punch the whole time.
Drop. I saw a video on Instagram. It was like, Michael B. Jordan when he's in that boxing movie.
Yeah.
And he took that punch and it was completely fake, completely acted, but it looked really, really good.
Yeah.
They put that right next to that, like, Tyron really getting knocked in. It looked literally the same. So it's like you can okay, maybe he got punched, but really not as hard. And you kind of like dramatic, like make everything else like more of a motion. But it does look like he faked it. And people don't want to say he faked it, but I think he faked it.
Yeah.
He literally stung him. Like, Tyron Woodley hit him and he literally stunned him. And then, like, as soon as he got stunned, Jake came back in and he like rubbed his hand on like his wrist. Like, he knew that shit was coming. This is the punch I'm gonna throw. And then swings it. And he's out, bro.
Shit, I didn't see that part. He threw a signal by rubbing.
Like,
what?
He had his hands up and he put his right hand down and like shaked his wrist and then put it back up. Swung it.
Interesting. That was a signal.
Could be.
So fuck the fake fight shit, man. That shit's stupid, bro. I don't fuck with that shit, bro.
No.
But shit.
But what I can't believe is all these guys are getting in like bare knuckle fighting. You watched any of those?
No.
On YouTube, yes, I have. It looks fucking crazy. Every fight's almost a knockout. So I mean, it is interesting to watch. But that's like real shit fighting.
Fight club shit.
That's like real Fight Club type shit. Yeah.
That's always been in the weird corners of the internet.
Dude, so I went to one of the last fights they had in Tampa. Somebody got me tickets, and so I went and like, I mean, I watched fighting, I've trained, and I'm sitting there in the first couple of fights. Like, it took me a while for it to like warm up because I was like, I'm watching this. I'm like, this is barbaric.
It's brutal.
Like,
wow, I didn't know they're doing that in Tampa.
Yeah, the Hard Rock. They're hosting a lot of them.
What, the Hard Rock? Of course it would be. That's some weird like dystopian like. Those movies where it's like the rich people betting on like a Hunger Games, right? That's fucking weird, man. It's weird.
Yeah, it was bizarre. And so I want to say that bare knuckle fight.
I'm sorry, not the Hunger Games, Squid Games.
Yeah,
like
Squid
that.
Games.
Correction. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. So I think the BKFC I want to say they're based out of Florida because, like, I swear all their fights are in Florida somewhere, and they do them at like the Hard Rock up here, and then one of the Hard Rocks down south, I think. But that was wild being in the crowd for that, and you hear people like, hit him, like, you know, they're getting mad when they're clinching. I'm like, do you want to step in that cage? Because I guarantee you, like, when you see those punches coming at you and there's no glove stopping it, like,
Oh my god!
I mean,
it is a cage.
so they do like they had like a circle ring, but like the ropes looked like they were hard. They didn't look like they were like normal like boxing ropes or anything.
Okay.
But I mean, it sounds weird, but they sounded like they were metal almost, like, but with like a cover on them, like. But
that's like real man shit right there,
dude. Hats off to the guys that want to do it.
Are they getting money?
Yeah, they're getting paid, and supposedly, I mean, they're trying to say that, you know, they're trying to be competitive with these big other like MMA promotions, but
I mean, bare knuckles, that might be a little bit too brutal for people to like, you know, the casual fighting fan to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Is it just a progression over time? Are we being desensitized? UFC is not enough anymore.
Maybe. I can't imagine that it'll go mainstream the way like MMA, like the UFC's got the corner, but I can't see it going mainstream like that. But
That's scary.
Maybe
Tampa, I didn't know.
Maybe like some Bellator type thing where it's like only on cable. It's no like pay-per-view type stuff, and it's on like G4 at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, is that even a channel still? G4. Watch Ninja Warrior on there.
Have you seen? I was just scrolling through YouTube and I came across like this slap fight league in the States, and like,
is that the one where they have their hand like they have to have one hand on the post or whatever and they slap, or no?
You don't know. It's not on the post, but you could probably pull it up on YouTube.
What's it called?
Slap fight league, something like that. And literally, like, they'll just stand at like a table, like, you know, there'll be like a barrel in between them, and you have to have your hands to the side. I'm sorry, the guy getting slapped has their hands behind them, and you literally just sit there and take a fucking slap as hard as you can.
Oh no, thanks.
Yeah, here it is.
I'm gonna make sure this isn't.
Yeah,
blow
and
our
one of
ears
them,
out.
like, people have a bunch of different techniques. One of the guys, he would go like, they count like 1, 2, and then and people will get knocked out, dog, from a slap. I didn't know you get knocked out from a slap.
That's wild.
Sleeping.
Guy cleaning his ear out.
What the hell is this?
Look at this.
They gotta stand around a barrel.
Bet you that beard helps.
What? This is a turn-based competition?
Yes.
Just slap me as hard as you fucking can, and then I'm gonna slap you as hard as I fucking can.
They got rules. There's no stepping and there's no clubbing.
So what's the 0-0-3 down there?
There's rounds.
Rounds? Okay.
Oh my god. You
Oh, he
gotta have a
flinched.
beard. He flinched?
Yeah, so those are the 3 rules. No flinching, no stepping, and no clubbing.
So that means that he sucks.
He's scared, bro. He got scared.
So he lost that round because he flinched. Or
There's a
something.
warning. If he flinches again, he loses his turn, and the guy gets to slap 2 times.
So, but like, how do you be better? Like, how do you win the round or whatever?
You just don't get knocked out, and you don't flinch.
So what if they both don't get knocked out and they both don't flinch?
They keep going round for round for round for round for round.
Oh, so this is until they drop from being slapped.
Or until they give up.
Or until they give up. What the hell?
And maybe, look at this guy, way back. That's a flinch.
This guy just keeps flinching. This is fucking ridiculous. How do you find this, Daniel?
Dude, I'm the YouTube god, dude. I just be digging. Well, the first ones I seen, they were all only in Europe, and they were all only speaking Russian, so I couldn't, really get into it. They had this big old black dude, knocked everybody out.
It seems like there's a strong advantage to size.
He looked like a black Shrek.
Why does it not surprise me? It started over in Europe somewhere. That's like, have you seen these like team MMA fights where it's like 5-on-5, and like,
No.
if you finish one of the guys on the other team, like, then it's like 4-on-5, and you'll see like situations where there'll be like 3 guys like fighting one guy until it gets knocked out. Like, it's wild. It's over in Europe somewhere. So there's one that's like in an actual cage too.
Yeah,
That one there.
they're just in a corral on that one.
Oh my god.
That looks like Brock Lesnar with a tattoo on his chest. Big old bird. Three on 3. Oh, damn.
They really put.
Oh my God. Oh, he's dropped. It's all 1-on-1.
Yeah, so see, now you got 2 on 1.
Oh!
See, but I don't know. Like, I thought they would have stopped that one guy.
After he fell on the ground. They just keep.
Oh, he's out.
Idiot.
I wonder if you can still, like...
The announcer said, I don't even know who the hell's in the lead.
And I mean, like, obviously here, they're not... I mean, they're just swinging for fences. They're not bare knuckle, obviously.
Uh-huh. You got blood already. Oh, man. Bro, would you hop in one of these?
I don't know. I got a couple boys that I feel like if they were on my team, I'd feel confident going in there, you know?
Okay.
But
I couldn't do that.
We'll see.
Hell no.
I don't know. It sounds like a good idea until you're like the day of and you're thinking, all right, I got to go in this cage with, 3-on-3 and bare knuckle, see how it goes.
I wonder if it's still got like the same rules, like no punch in the back of the head and shit like that.
I don't know, because that one guy looked like he just ran straight behind him and
just
shoved him. But